Hello, good morning to all. Welcome to Academic Writing Unit 8. Today we are going to see the revision of this unit. Let's see what are the main topics discussed in this unit. We have got 7 topics. They are writing CV, letter writing, writing email, writing summaries, writing memos, blog writing, and etiquette or netiquette in writing. Let's see what is a CV. The definition. CV is actually the short form for curriculum vitae. So, curriculum vitae, commonly abbreviated to CV, is a Latin term that translates as the course of one's life. That means what are the achievements, your experiences, your education, all these things are highlighted in a CV. That is why it is known as a course of one's life. It is a summary of your academic and work history. Basically, it sums up your educational qualifications and also your work experience. A well-formatted CV could dramatically improve an individual's chance to successfully obtain a desirable position. So, when you are seeking for a job, it is very crucial that you have a very excellent and impressive CV made for you. That will go a long way in achieving your goal of obtaining a job. Now, there are 3 terms which can be rather confusing to all of us. They are CV, biodata, and resume. Are they all same or are there any differences? That's what we are going to see. While a CV, biodata, and resume are roughly equivalent documents, there are important differences in its usage and content. So, all these 3 are used for applying job and all that, but still there are slight differences. We will see that. Biodata, the short form for biographical data, emphasizes on personal particulars like date of birth, sex, nationality, marital status, and so on. So, biodata means actually it is mostly about your personal details like date of birth, gender, nationality, marital status, and so on, and it has a specific format. Now, coming to resume, it is an advertising tool for selling oneself as the most qualified candidate. So, resume is almost like a kind of advertising. You are trying to advertise yourself as the most suitable candidate for a particular job. It is typically used in business and there is no specific format for a resume. So, that is very important. A resume does not have a particular or specific format. Now, the most basic difference between CV and resume is in its length. The main difference is that CV is rather long. That means it can run to maybe 3 to 5 pages. Whereas resume is shorter, maybe 1 or 2 pages only. A CV is used primarily when applying for academic, scientific, or research positions. So, when you are applying for scientific research positions and all that, usually we use CV. It is also used when applying for fellowships and grants. Unlike resume, it is static, it does not change for different positions. So, your CV will remain the same, it does not change according to your purpose or need. The purpose of CV is to elaborate on your educational background and academic pursuits. So, these are the 2 main focus areas of a CV, that is your educational background, your qualification, and also your academic pursuits or your work experience. Now we will see the components of a CV. What are the different parts? A CV will have the following sections. First one is contact information or personal profile. It is vital that the reader can spot at a glance not only your name but also precisely how to get in contact with you. So the first thing that you give in a CV is definitely your contact information or your personal profile. Your CV should be headed with your full name. So in your personal profile, the first thing that should come is your full name, and it has to be written boldly and clearly, so that should be the first one to notice when somebody is reading your CV. Then you can add your address, phone number, email address, date of birth, gender, marital status, religion, Aadhaar number, etc. Now the second component of CV is objective statement. Let us see what is an objective statement. The task of the objective statement is to explain your preferred career direction and details on what you hope to achieve from your future career. So it is actually kind of giving your target. So what are you trying to achieve in your future career? Maybe your ambitions or what you try to get out of your job, or what direction you want to go in this particular job. While writing an objective statement, you should write down the types of positions, types of organizations or settings, and specific skills you want to use or develop in your next job. So here you are trying to narrow down your area of work. Now suppose IT is a vast field, but in IT you have got different sections. So you can say in which particular section you would like to work, or what are the specific what are the specific skills you have, so that you can use them in a particular section of that job. The third component is key skills and abilities. Now what are key skills? A key skill section is a summary of the main skills and abilities you are offering to a prospective employer. So it is not enough that you have a lot of educational qualifications. Nowadays they are demanding, or they are looking for real skills, personal skills, and that is what matters today. Let's see what are those skills. You can include your communication skills, interpersonal skills, administrative skills, organizational skills, presentation skills, etc. So these are some of the skills you can give in your data or your CV. You can also include achievements. In this section you can highlight your personal, professional and academic achievements, awards, etc. So what are the achievements? Suppose you have been working as a teacher, what are the awards you have, what are the certificates. Now we come to the most important section, that is education and qualification. So it includes descriptions of your qualifications, the dates you received your qualification. Here dates means actually the year, we are looking for the year. Then what grades, class or marks you achieved, the names of the educational institutions you worked, whether it is a university or other colleges, special certifications, licenses, additional vocational trainings, etc. This all can be included. Now we come to your career history or work experience. Now when you enumerate your work experience, you start with your present or most recent job and work all the way back to your very first job. So the latest one, the last job you have been working for, that is the one you should start with, and then go back to the earliest. The dates you worked for each organization. So the time period should be mentioned, from which year to which year, or from which month, and all that. Those things should be specified. Your job title or designation, responsibilities held, etc. The name of the organization you worked for, along with the location, a compelling description of what your role entailed. So all these things should be specified in your work experience. Next component is personal profile. Personal profile is a brief statement at the very beginning of a CV which lists the most relevant information. So actually this part should come first, your personal profile. Your year and date of birth, Aadhaar card number, passport details, languages in the order of proficiency, hobbies and interests. So all these things can be given in your personal profile. And the last part is references. What is meant by references? The referees listed should be willing to confirm your claim. That means referee is someone who can vouch for you, who can confirm about your authenticity. So in case the employer wants to know about the truth about you, the actual facts, whether you are just trying to cheat somebody or not, then they can definitely refer to these people regarding your career, your qualifications and all that. That's the meaning of referee here. So they can be your teachers, supervisors, your formal boss, even your neighbors, in case they are professionals connected with the job you are applying for. Otherwise you cannot give neighbors. They should be qualified, or they should be able to verify your facts. Now I have given here a sample CV for your reference. You can go through that. You can also see one on page 228 and 29. Here you have the personal details, the name, address, phone number, email address, all that given here. Next we have the personal profile, which is a summary of your education, experience and all that. Then you have the objective given here. Then you have education and qualifications, starting from the highest, your PG, then graduation, intermediate and high school. That is the order. Then you have the next you have further skills, then interests and activities like hobbies, and then towards the end you have the reference. You can give two references actually. Here I have given only one. The next topic is letter writing. Of course, you have been seeing letter writing from high school onwards, I think. I think most of you must be aware of the format. Anyway, we will see the details of letter writing. Letter writing is an essential communication skill. In today's internet and email driven society, the need to write a letter arises less often than in the past. Of course, we know that letter writing is almost disappearing from our existence, from our day-to-day lives, because better communication media we have, like internet, WhatsApp, and all that. However, it is still necessary to present a formal letter to obtain information, to apply for a job, to write a complaint letter, or simply to express your opinion in an effective manner. Of course, letter writing is still prevalent. Sometimes we need to use letters, especially for applying for job. Maybe we want to send a letter through post or to write a complaint letter and all that. Even for certain official purposes, we use letter writing. Before writing a letter, we have to do a SAP, means subject, audience, purpose analysis. That means what is the subject of the letter and who you are addressing, that is the audience, and why you are writing. So what, who, and why. The first thing is that we need to decide the topic or the subject, and then think about the receiver or the audience to whom you are writing the letter. Next, we identify the purpose of writing. What is the purpose? Is it to apply for job? Is it to uh, book some materials or to order some books, depending on your purpose? Gather information you need and do additional research if it is required. This will be needed especially when we are applying for a job. You will have to do some basic research, especially on the company where you are applying. Make a simple outline of the points you need to cover. So before you write the letter, better to draft one, an outline. Later we can develop that. Then types of letters, as you already know, we have formal as well as informal or personal letters. And of course, informal letters have the following purposes: to thank, to give news, to apologize, to invite, to reply another letter. So these are the different ways we use informal letters. Of course, these informal letters are sent to our relatives or friends or those who are close to us. Now we come to the general format of an informal letter. First, of course, we need to write the address and the date at the top of the right hand corner of the page. Begin with a salutation or greeting like dear. Set the main purpose of your letter in the beginning itself. So the introduction itself, you set that clearly, the purpose of your writing. No need to follow punctuation rules here, of course. Use the last paragraph to send good wishes and mention your future meeting and so on. So these are the important things you notice about a friendly or informal letter. Now we come to the most important one, that is a formal letter. The structure of a formal letter. All the lines align towards the left margin. Of course, after the arrival of computers and all that, always we go for left alignment. The first information you put on a formal letter is your name, address, and the date. So the first thing that you do is from address along with your name, then the address, and of course the date. Then type the recipient's address to address. Use their full name and include their title like Mr., Mrs., Doctor, etc. If you don't know the person, begin with the position or designation of the person. So if you are not sure about the name, I can write designation like the manager, the principal, the supervisor, etc. Begin the letter with the subject to make it easy for the recipient. So you should include one line, that is the subject. What is that you are writing about, so that the receiver can know the purpose or intention. Now the structure of a formal letter. Skip a line and write your salutation like dear sir, madam, dear manager, etc. Begin the letter with the purpose and referee Skip a line and write your salutation. Example, dear sir, madam, dear manager, etc. Begin the letter with the purpose and the reference, if any. So the purpose has to be very clear. Then keep to the point, be brief, and give all necessary information. So here you give only what is necessary. Sorry, no unnecessary details should be given. Then we conclude the letter with yours sincerely or sincerely, yours faithfully, yours respectfully, etc. After the complimentary close, skip three lines and write your full name. And of course, usually before your name, we put the signature, and the name will come after your signature. Now we come to cover letters. A cover letter is a one-page document that, along with your CV, is sent with your job application. A strong cover letter makes your application stand out. So when we apply for a job, we send a cover letter along with the CV or biodata. And a strong cover letter will definitely make sure that your application is acceptable to the employer. The basic format of a cover letter. Every cover letter should include your contact information, address, and date. So these information should be provided there. Then employer's contact information. That is to address. Now we come to the paragraph. First paragraph. Reason of writing. So in the first paragraph, you give a short introduction about yourself. Then the reason that is post you are applying for. Uh, Even your qualification can be mentioned in short. And the second paragraph, your offers to them, or your skills and personal qualities that match the position. You can give in briefly. Then coming to the third paragraph, what happens next? That means what are the plans in case you are securing that job? That is again your offer for the company, apart from your skills and qualities. And then we come to the closing, the complimentary close. So usually, like all the letters, we need to have minimum three paragraphs. The five things recruiters look for in a cover letter. First, evidence that the applicant has researched about the company. That means you should have some adequate information regarding the company. Then something eye-catching or attractive or impressive about you. It has to be there in the cover letter. How an applicant found out about the job vacancy. So that has to be provided, whether it is from the advertisement on the newspaper or from the job portals, websites. Those things has to be furnished. Then a sense of the applicant's personality. So they will be assessing your personality while going through your cover letter. Then the last thing is readability, which includes grammar and vocabulary or expressions. So the language you use is very important. That is one way of assessing you. So you have to be very careful that we avoid grammatical mistakes and your vocabulary should be standard, etc. These should be uh, taken care of. Otherwise, they may get very bad impression about yours. So with that, we come to the end of cover letter and also this class. So until we meet for the next class, it's goodbye. Thank you.